Hear that diff, that rear diff. You can actually, I'm going to move the microphone, the phone to the back in a minute. Hey everybody, Anthony 4x4 Diesel. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this diff noise, make sure we're up to date. There could be some more videos about it that come out after this. This is a bit of a fresh video because I want to tell you about the free shipping. Yes, free shipping, but for 2 days only. Stay tuned. Anyway, look, it's a real whine. It's coming from the rear diff. Let me give you that discount code. I've screenshot. Hopefully it comes up. I think it's MEL Expo free ship today, right? So that's MEL EXPO MEL Expo free FRAA free ship like a ship today, all one word. 2 days only, 48 hours from Sunday the 25th of August, 4 p.m. for 2 days only, 48 hours. Whether it's your underbody protection so you can hit the tracks, your touring gear in the back of your Prado or whatever other vehicle, your Strenex lighter, stronger bash plates. You can't hear that whine while I'm talking, can you? Hey, let me know in the comments, what did you stay for? Did you stay to listen to the whine or did you stay to get the free shipping code? We rarely get any discounts from K-On anymore, you know. I mean, back at the start, Oz Prado crew, we used to get a fair bit of support back. Now it's sort of changed a little bit, so take advantage where you can. Free shipping, I reckon that's pretty good. So bada bing, bada boom, I'll do what I can for you, but it's what it is. We already know Australian made, Australian owned, top quality, value for money gear, best customer service in the world, and I think it's good value for money already, and there wasn't enough put in the price in the first place to be able to give, you know, big discounts or discounts regularly. But look, stay tuned in Oz Prado crew if you're in Australia, because I think if there's going to be a discount for all the Prado owners that supported them from the start and ongoing, the most loyal crew, should be there. And you know, keep your fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. Anyway, here we are back at the workshop. Let's have a chit chat about a few things. So firstly, yeah, I'll be looking at the comments to see, did you hang around for the discount? Did you hang around, was it to hear the diff whine, or was it to hear me whine for the chit chat, the general chit chat? I mean, look, 457,000 kilometers. Can you believe the condition of these 120 Prado seats that I don't run seat covers on? I just try and keep reasonably clean and keep things clean, right? You've seen the steering wheel cover, the new head unit, that is absolutely awesome and cheap. Stay tuned for separate videos on that. I have not washed the mats since the trip or vacuumed the vehicle. So, you know, you get in, you put your butt in, you bang your feet together out here, it goes on the floor, you put your feet in, the rubbish gets on the mat every now and then. I've probably emptied the mats off at least half a dozen times for the trip. You can see a little bit of sand and wear and tear over that side. And you might not have seen the videos yet, but I haven't touched the air filter since we've been back, or the brake fluid. I've done an oil and filter change. Coolant hasn't been touched. Washer bottle's been filled up. Because of the oil and filter change, the engine bay did get a wash down, so that's clean. The car's had a couple of washes, so it should be reasonably clean now that we can get underneath it. But I think we did do a bit of work underneath it. We changed this fuel filter. We did do some work underneath it, having a look around, testing that diff noise before we cleaned it as thoroughly as we have now. And I'm not saying it's that thorough. We will see in the next video, won't we? All right, since we're talking K-On, let's have a quick talk about some of my favorite K-On products. And of course, as you can always see, those storage shelves up there, which I thought I could live without in this vehicle. The cargo barrier is awesome, allowing me to fill it up and gear not to fall forwards, maximizing the storage space. You can see at the moment that jerry can that was in the side here is removed, so temporarily removed. Usually the one at the left, that side always stays there. And like I said, there's normally one in behind the fridge as well, currently removed. But that's not K-On stuff. People are just, there's some new people, and some people have seen this setup before, some haven't. Now, the 120s, everybody knows, there was an old basket here that was just loose and floppy and useless. This is where the whole idea started, right? So this was the first one, and how good's that? You can fit it. Now that's a set of lights. You got your detergent, you got a heap of sponges and stuff, way more than what you need. There's a box of cutlery and stuff in there as well. Not as spacious as the 150. So this is a can't live without option, because it makes space for us from a space that was useless. So it's really awesome. But what they've done with it, doing it on the 150, because there's even more space in there. So everybody's a winner. And of course the table's awesome as well. On this storage system, you know, you've seen we've got the extra table there as well. So that covers a lot of things, except what's this? Oh, that's right. Yeah. There's that discount code in case you missed it, right? Mel Expo free ship 2-day starts Sunday, the 25th of August for 2 days, 48 hours only. So get in quick. Subscribe, turn the bell on so you don't miss these announcements. You know, when there's, if you see the video a week later, you're just going to be upset and go, I missed that. I wish I'd known. So subscribe, turn the bell on 4x4 Diesel and 4x4 Adventures. We're giving you all the info for free. So yeah, wheel's going to come off. This is going to go on. That slides on over the top of that. Let's do that, and so in case you don't get the picture, I might need to spin it around the right way. That's it. All right, that goes like that. These bolts and nuts and bolts, whatever, bolts. It's just bolts because, see, there's a nut already in there, right? Go in there to lock that in, and there's an extra hole. You can put a lock, you can put a padlock or something if you want to lock your stuff so it can't get stolen. Beautiful. Another top K-On product is those little door shims there. All right, so if you're getting some of the bigger things from K-On, always keep in mind to get some door shims thrown in, because one day you're going to need some adjustment. You're going to wish you did. And there's a little striker replacement as well. Replaces this little plastic striker, may help on some vehicles as well. Okay, so have a look on their website. Just search Prado, K-On Products Prado, and go direct to their website, right? That storage shelf up there, right? So you can get that standalone on its own. It works independently of the cargo barrier. Obviously, I've got both in both cars. Pretty sure everybody's got their, you know, the 7mm hole, the EGR plate that goes in there somewhere. I'm sure everyone already knows about that, and they've already got that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, get on our playlist on 4x4 Diesel, injector information or EGR information, get yourself educated, but get yourself one of those plates thrown in as well, because one day you're going to wish wish you had one. If you want to bring your vehicle into the Prado Hospital for your 1KD FTV injector replacement, or getting it looking schmick like this one, we don't buy, sell or install, wink wink, you know. So if you've got one, you know, keep it on your keyring and it might come in handy one day. If you want more info on it, you just need to watch those other videos. Also a reasonably new battery, a bracket that goes over the top of your battery where you can actually have some fuses set up. Looks really cool. Saves a bit of mess like this. Now this one looks bad. The problem I've got is this vehicle was sort of half set up when I got it. So I sort of worked with what was there a little bit. You know, some of these wires, a few of them were there. You know, that was there. I think that goes to the Anderson plug, but I've added a fuse down there, see? Which is better than nothing. When I got it, I disconnected it because I didn't want it with no fuse. I wasn't using the rear Anderson plug. Now the solid charging's gone from being here and just plug tucked down there. I can plug it in at the back, but of course I don't want no fuse while other people have got access to that. This is the power to the back. That was already there, so I just reused that. I've added on the voltmeter thingamajig. I've reconnected that. That was already there. I've added that. This was already here. I think I might have, I don't know if I added those or whatever. I can't remember. Might have. UHF company. Anyway, whatever, right? So you get the battery bracket thing here, and you put all your nice little, so instead of having them tucked down the side there like that, right? Boom, you put them across the top directly. Oh, mate, really neat and tidy. Well, let's go and have a look at the other car. Sort of gives you a bit of an idea. There it is. No, not that one. That's the Commodore. This is actually one of the vehicles that brought up the idea of that sort of setup, because what we had to do when we set this one up to make it neat, And what Captain Electrical and Sunshine was regularly having to do was make up brackets like this to mount the fuse holders on. So we said to Karen, hey, how about something like what they've made? And I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about, so I'll stop waffling on about that. You can check their website and you'll see the product. Wait your turn, mate, wait your turn. We'll get to you. There's all sorts of different antenna mounts, but this is the one we use on the 150. Works really well. It's a double header, so you can put, you know, if you've got a cell phone or whatever, the extra antenna for your mobile phone or whatever other antenna, you know, VHF, whatever, radios, you got an extra bracket there. And of course, you know, don't forget your bottle opener while you're on the website getting your, but there's lots of different antenna mounts that go on the bonnet, which we haven't got one here at the moment. There's one that goes under the mirror and even some other ones that go on the rear taillight. There's a reverse rear camera relocation bracket, gets that out of the way and it brings it down near the number plate, which kind of works really well. If you've got a bag covering this camera, it kind of looks a bit like that when you're reversing up, right? Not ideal. And people that have got four-wheel drives and use them usually have bags, and that blocks that camera there. So camera relocation bracket, I'm sure you've seen it in our other videos. I reckon we've got a playlist there called K-On, check it out. Looking at the wheel, there's a rear wheel spacer that spaces out the rear wheel. You know what I mean? There's all these dividers in the back of the vehicle, and I'm hoping there's going to be more soon to replace. To have a modular kit that you can put together to what suits you, made out of materials like this shelf and that cargo barrier instead of this timber and this sort of thing. So it'll be really universal. There'll be some work to do yourself, but you'll be able to get the ideal setup at the best value for money. They also make some recovery points. They're really good. If you're going to have any aftermarket ones, you may as well have theirs because they're the best, and you'll see them on their website, replacing these forward-facing welded tow hooks or whatever you want to call them that are quite strong, and that's what we use. I mean, it's not actually too bad looking for a 23-year-old VX Commodore, is it, eh? Pretty clean. I mean, come on, round of applause. Hit the like button for the quality here. It's not, well, I was going to say it's not mine. It wasn't mine, kind of. I think it's mine now, or it might be. Anyway, they've got your diff plug and your diff plug removal tool. They've got steps you can put on your spare wheel to climb up on your roof. They've got a panhard corrector. Important. It is important, I'll tell you why, because I've got one sitting here on the bench and we're going to get that onto one of the vehicles. I haven't decided which one yet, but probably the 150, and it'll probably get moved from 150 to the other. I mean, it looks like it says 150, doesn't it? So I guess maybe it's different for the 120. I would imagine it's the same. It's something I might just check on actually before I decide, but let's see. And we'll talk about that more in another video. I've got those molly panels that go on the inside of the window, which you can see I haven't got, simply because if I put those in there, they would take up space that I'm using where I jam in pillows, sleeping bags, jackets. That's my storage space. I use every last bit, as you can see. Nothing up there at that side either. But as we've said before, each to your own. I mean, everybody's got a different setup. I need to sometimes fit in all the gear for a family trip. And if you're on your own or only two people, it might work out handy to have that protection up there. If you've got pets in the back so the dogs ain't licking the windows, so you can hang all your other gadgets and gizmos off those. So whatever you prefer, they've got them on the website if you want them. Of course, the underbody protection we've already talked about. The tables we've already talked about. Everything but the kitchen sink. Well, there's a kitchen sink as well. And there's actually fire extinguisher mounts for the front seat. More antenna mounts. All sorts of stuff. Another really important one. This mounting bracket. This K-On mounting bracket for the ARB compressor down there, right? It's got the part for the switch built in. I put a bag over it to keep it dry because it is meant to be mounted inside the vehicle, and eventually moisture, rust and whatever from getting it wet from the odd wash down could cause some problems with it, so I'm trying to avoid that. But your K-On compressor bracket, awesome, you know? Like I said, diff plugs. And if you're purchasing this rear mount, you can mount whatever you want on there, but you might want to buy the correct MaxTrax mount to mount it on. So the MaxTrax mount bolts to this mount, and then your MaxTrax go onto that using the MaxTrax pins. If you want to see these products in use, you can check out, like I said, the playlists on each of our YouTube channel. Both 4x4 Diesel and 4x4 Adventures, I believe, have got a K-On playlist of some sort, products, reviews, installation videos, that sort of thing. And of course, check out their website, check out their YouTube channel, and check out their Facebook page and all that sort of thing, because after all, it's their business, not mine, but I'm just telling you about good stuff. I like drops. They've also got diff drops. This vehicle hasn't got one. Why? Because it's a Prado and we don't have a problem with the CVs braking and the angles of the CVs on Prados, unless I'm driving this 120 in the middle of the high country, in the middle of nowhere, and I'm doing some silly side chicken track mucking around on a hill. I've got it all flexed up, twisted up, 3 wheels in the air, and the one that was left I'm expecting to pull 3 tons up a hill. It just didn't happen, and bada bing, right? Nothing to do with angles though. What I'm trying to say is on the Hilux, I highly recommend the diff drop. Copy? I highly recommend it. Get the K-On one, it's quality, free shipping, get it while you can. Insist on transmission coolers, they go about there. K-On provides the bracket and the auto cooler kit, okay? The whole package with all the hoses ready for you to install. I don't run them on our vehicles because instead, I understand how the transmission works. I keep the torque converter locked, and for the most part, we keep the temperatures really cool, or at least under control, and rarely do they get hot. And if they get a little bit hot every now and then, it's not the end of the world, and the evidence is in the red cordial, the nice red oil that comes out many years later after using the vehicle this way without a cooler. So each to their own, whether you want a cooler or not, but if you're going to get one, you may as well get the quality Australian made brackets and that whole kit from K-On. A little problem we come across when we're servicing these 150s is, you know, you jump in and you want to just press a button to put in neutral to move the car on the hoist or things like that, and you've got to pop out this little cover here and use a screwdriver, or you can get the K-On upgrade. See, it's a little push, so you take the cover off, you install this, and basically we've put it back to a button system. Push the button, you can pop it into neutral. Beautiful. If you're going to set up your 150 Prado, you don't have to have a DC-DC charger, but you're probably going to have at least an SBI 12, something like that. And either way, you probably want one of these brackets because it is a combined mount one or the other or both right up the front where it's going to get the air cooling to keep that charger cool if you've got one on a nice solid Australian made bracket. It's a no-brainer. Get yourself one of those. If you don't want to modify your suspension, but you've got a little bull bar, an alloy bar, and you want a little bit more height at the front, you can actually buy some strut spaces from them they've manufactured that go underneath here between the top of the strut and the strut tower, which are approximately, I think, hang on, I should look that up. They're 6 millimeters thick, which I can tell you will give you about double that at the wheel, so about 12 mil. So it's going to, for the most part, compensate for the weight of the bull bar on the front of your 120, 150 Prado or Hilux. If it's an alloy bar or maybe just a battery setup and some bash plates, you might have lost a bit of height and you go, well, I can't afford the lift kit yet, or I don't want a lift kit. Those strut spaces, as long as they're not more than 6 millimeters, are acceptable. Now you got me down on the floor, damn it. Hit the like button for the effort. Look at these shock guards protecting those shock absorbers. If you travel out back roads where rocks and dirt and all that sort of thing, you really want to protect those shock absorbers as much as possible. I recommend the shock guards on the 150. On the 120, not really that excited about the design. Still waiting for an upgrade there to make them like these ones. So if you've got a 120, maybe it's worth shooting an email through asking, hey, when are you guys going to upgrade the shock guards for the 120 to a design like the 150 so that we can get them on our 120 Prados? Thank you. Oh, poor little 120's missing out and the bolt head's getting absolutely hammered. Anyway, it goes on and on and on, just like I do. They're here to help. I'm here to help. We're all here to help. Watch the videos, check the info on our social media, and do whatever you need to do. Now, just because I told you about all the products doesn't mean you need to buy them all. Think about before all your purchases because A, yes, it's going to cost you money. It's going to add weight to the vehicle. So do you really need it? Is it something that is going to help with your storage and a solution, or is it just going to be more stuff you don't need? Like, I've got my opinions. I know you're different, e.g. So things like the Molly panels, I know people love them. Sorry, but I'm just like, I need the space. I'll save the money and I'll also save the weight, right? So and that's where with my MaxTrax mounts, the ones on the roof, they're much lighter than a system like this. So this, you're putting weight on your back door. So here I am saying I'm going to do it, but it's a temporary thing on and off. I'm not going to carry the MaxTrax around all the time. If you want to look cool, all dressed up, nowhere to go, put them on your roof. The mounts are much lighter. It's on the roof. The whole vehicle's taking the weight. rather than hanging off your rear door, because you're adding the weight of this, the bracket it goes on, the max tracks themselves quite heavy. I'm just going to estimate it'll probably total up to between 20 and 30 kilos between the max tracks, the brackets, all the mounting pins, and your little padlock, just taking a guess there. And for anyone that's worried about these tables and how much weight they can take, I just want to finish off by saying it can take a heap of weight. I just about want to stand up on it and show you. It's unbelievable. These coarse thread screws just into the plastic. I've done videos, again, check those playlists. I reckon I had 30 to 40 litres, 30 to 40 kilos of water and weight on one of these tables. When I'm camping, I've really stretched the limits, putting heavy things on there. Never had a problem. Have faith, people. Get the K-On gear. Catch you in the next video. See ya.